Right, we're here at the back of Botchby Community Centre, and we're at the Youth Cafe entrance, and I'm with Graham Fairchild from GRK Flood Defences Limited. Now they are installing, in collaboration with F-Tech Barriers, one of their barriers today. Graham, tell me a little bit about what you have to consider before you even begin to install a product, and then when you install the product, all that you have to do.
Well, obviously the surveyor comes around and finds out what barrier is needed to actually do the job, to make sure that the barrier works as well. And what they take into consideration is if it's inside, the doors are solid, if they're vertical, if the ground that this work on is flat, because if it's not, what we can do is channel out to put a ground rail in, and then cement it back in to make sure that the surface is flat. So whenever the actual board that goes in afterwards, then we get a good seal, because ultimately it's a seal so we can stop the water pressing into the concrete. So that's what we ensure. It's on the outside, once again, it's a brick or render.
So you're doing it inside?
We're doing it inside on this one. And
what made you decide to put it inside out of interest?
Well, this one is because it's a fire exit. And if you put it on the outside, the fire doors can open, and therefore that is a hazard in itself. So with all fire doors, we do on the inside, we still allow people to escape, but obviously still for the barrier.
There you are, that's something to think of. If you're fitting a barrier to a fire door, don't fit the barrier on the outside. Thank you for telling me that one, that's a good point. So what have you done so far?
Well, first of all, we've taken away a little bit of architrave, so the actual rails can sit neatly against the wall. On this side, it's fine because it is vertical. On this side, we can put a little bit of a back up and bring it vertical. This means that we can then cut the boards perfectly on all three boards instead of individually, and it also looks aesthetically nice as well. Because it has to work. So also, and then what we use is just backers to bring it out, to bring it vertical.
And then when you've done that, you can obviously stop these in. So what we'll do is we'll leave you to get on, and when you've finished, come find me, and I'll come and talk to you again.
Excellent, thank you very much.
I'd actually like to film you installing the barriers, and perhaps talking to the community centre manager as to how to install the barriers.
Yes,
Do you obviously supply instructions that she needs for when it happens? I guess you would recommend that she has many practices to station.
We always recommend them do them throughout the year, occasionally, because if you haven't been flooded for a few years, you happen to forget. I mean, we're always at the end of the phone call anyway, should they need us to come around and go through these procedures. So we don't leave after we finish the job, we're always at the end of the call.
That's great, that's really reassuring to know. Thank you.
No problem.
We'll see you in a bit then.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The community centre, who is manager here, is going to be taught how to install them for the camera. So this will be very useful for anybody else that has an F-Tech barrier in future. And then also, if you forget, even though you'll have written instructions, you can go on to YouTube. So I'll get out of the way and over to you.
Thank you. And don't forget,
Thanks, Mary.
GRK is still at the end of the phone should you need us.
I will.
What we're doing, what we've done is we've done it so it's exactly the same as what it was before we installed the barrier. So what you need to do is just roll back the carpet.
Okay.
Right. And then what we have here is a series of barriers that we've named bottom, middle and top. We do this simply because in time of flood we don't want people thinking about what they have to do. They can just come out.
When the panic sets in, it's obvious which one goes
it's
first.
minimising the thinking process.
Makes sense.
On the first barrier, it's an obvious one. You have two barriers, two seals. You have the bottom seal, which has a triple seal at the bottom. This means that the water has to try and get through three seals to actually get in. Okay, we have seals on each of the rails, and what this does is this slides down between the two rails, down to the bottom, and then we install the second barrier, which is
Middle.
in this case
Yep.
middle. Down. And then the final one has no seal.
And do they all have to be facing the same way up, or do they go the other way around? Does it matter?
We always do it if you install them the way that you can see them with the actual labels facing you,
Yeah.
then you'll know that it's fit as fine. Okay? And then what we have then is two T-joints that go to the top. And this is to help with the downward pressure. Okay, because you have the barriers pushed back with the nuts on the face.
Shall I climb on?
Yes, sorry. So what we're going to do here is push the board and just tighten up the screws, just so they're
Just hand tight.
hand tight, that's correct.
Shall I do this side?
If you don't mind.
So just clockwise?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And the same with the
All of
T.
them?
Yep. And the same with the T-joint.
Oh, that goes down as well.
That's correct. It's only done. So it's at this stage now that the boards are firm. If we try and tighten down before we tighten these screws up, then what happens is the boards can actually do this. Right, so that keeps them vertical.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So now what we do is we do 2 turns. 1, because
Right.
it's, obviously we can't turn around
Yeah.
because of the wall. Let's do yours.
That one? Big one, yeah.
2. Now that pushes the sill down onto the floor against the ground, okay? So now what we do is we do exactly the same on these. Because once the actual sill has been pressed, it doesn't need more to make the sill any better.
Okay.
So what happens is that you tend to find that people who have been flooded before panic and they over tighten, and it doesn't need to be over tightened. Bottom to top. Take this out, you can see the actual sill compressed.
Oh yeah.
So the board is nicely compressed against the sill. That way, no way is water going to get through, and then tighten up again. We recommend that people do this a couple times a year, because you don't want to wait until you're flooded to remember
Just to
how
be
to
familiar
install
with
it.
it. Yeah.
Yes, and obviously, like I said, GRK is always at the end of the phone should you need to ask any questions.
Yeah.